Epic Indian King Stories for Kids. Nani ji, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
Today, children, let's hear the story of a great king from 12th century India, Prithviraj Chauhan, who was born to the king of Ajmer, Raja Somaishver Chauhan. It's said that at the time of the birth of this great king-to-be, it was prophesied that this child would grow up to rule over a big chunk of land, and hence the child was named Prithviraj. Growing up in a royal household, Prithviraj learned the fine skills of administration and the art of warfare, mastered 6 languages, and was particularly proficient in archery. Following the untimely death of his father, Prithviraj stepped up and held firm the reins of the kingdom of Ajmer when he was as young as 11 years old. Prithviraj fought and won many battles during his reign, but it was his rivalry with Muhammad Ghori that's the most remembered. Prithviraj first faced him when Ghori invaded the area next to modern-day Bathinda. On learning of the invasion, Prithviraj marched with his army to the region. Prithviraj was decisively victorious in the battle that ensued. Muhammad Ghori was injured, and his army, having suffered heavy losses, was forced to retreat. As was the tradition of the proud Rajputs, Prithviraj and his army did not pursue the retreating Ghurid army, and Ghori and his retreating army were allowed to escape back to their base. A few years passed by, and Ghori returned several times. It's said that Prithviraj defeated Ghori a total of 17 times, and each time mercifully let his rival return. Ghori came back for the 18th time with a larger army and with a feeling of vengeance. It's said that Prithviraj sent out an envoy to Ghori's camp, promising him no harm if he decided to return to his own country. Ghori used this opportunity to trick Prithviraj with false assurances of a truce. Building upon his deception, 4 divisions of the Ghurid army attacked that camp of the Rajputana army at dawn when Prithviraj was in deep sleep. Subsequently, the Ghurid army with all its treacherous tricks prevailed, and Prithviraj Chauhan was captured along with his childhood friend Chand Bardai. It's said that Prithviraj and Chand Bardai were taken to Ghazna as prisoners, wherein Ghori subjected them to gruesome tortures. He even ordered Prithviraj's eyes to be burnt out with hot metal rods. Shabd Bediban was considered a mystical weaponry knowledge that allowed the archer to shoot at the target merely by listening and focusing on sounds. Ultimately, Prithviraj was sentenced to death by Ghori, but Chand Bardai remarked that it would be moot without one last presentation of the mystical Shabd Bediban Vidya that Prithviraj was known for possessing. Ghori could not believe Chand Bardai's claims and allowed a presentation to mock his blinded rival, shooting an arrow. Chand Bardai initiated the presentation with the doha,
4 बांस 24 गज अंगुल अष्ट प्रमाण ता ऊपर सुल्तान है मत चूके चौहान,
implying the direction and distance of where the Sultan was seated and urging the Chauhan king to not miss his mark. Legend has it that Ghori roared to order Prithviraj to demonstrate his skill, and the great Chauhan king let go of his arrow, not aiming at the target, but at Ghori himself. The arrow slayed Ghori, and finally, Prithviraj Chauhan had prevailed. Chand Bardai stood watching, crying with the joy of a satisfaction long sought. Chand Bardai and Chauhan did not wish to die at the hands of foreigners, and thus the 2 childhood friends, with their hearts filled with emotion and satiation, stabbed each other, closing the story of this great king of India forever. Till date, Prithviraj Chauhan is highly revered, and his name continues to inspire, even after centuries of foreign rulers and their efforts to diminish the characterization of great heroes of India.
Nani ji, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
Children, today we will hear the story of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Once upon a time, Afzal Khan, a general in the Bijapur Empire of Adil Shah, was tasked with carrying out a military campaign against Maratha warrior king, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Afzal proceeded towards the fort of Pratapgarh, where Shivaji resided. Unwilling to leave the outcome of battle against a feared Maratha strategist to chance, Afzal thought of a treacherous plan. He invited Shivaji to a negotiation meeting where he planned to assassinate the Maratha leader. Shivaji was an excellent judge of character and situations. Equipped with the knowledge of Afzal's attacking army and treacherous character, he had already prepared himself for the insanity that was to follow. Aware of Afzal's disproportionately large army, Shivaji manipulated the meeting so that only 2 trusted warriors of each side were present in the negotiation setup. Afzal Khan desperately wanted to get Shivaji to the meeting to execute his treacherous plans, and thus agreed. Once at the meeting, Afzal Khan faked his likeness for Shivaji and came forward to embrace him. Afzal then tried to suffocate Shivaji and stabbed him in the back with a dagger. The great Maratha king was well prepared, for he wore a thin chain armor underneath his royal costume. Shivaji retaliated with the Wagnak tiger claw weapon that he had concealed in his left hand. Shivaji cut open Afzal Khan, while his trusted accomplices took care of the military general's guards. In the battle that ensued, the disproportionately large army of Afzal Khan retaliated, suffering heavy losses, whilst Shivaji expanded his empire to double its size in the months that followed. Shivaji's name became a synonym for courage, smartness, and brilliant strategy. The flag of the Maratha kingdom soared high across the Deccan region, rekindling the spark for Swarajya, independence, in the common folk. Till date, Shivaji's name is highly revered, not only across the Indian subcontinent, but even in foreign lands and campaigns that sought inspiration from this great warrior king.
Nani ji, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
Today, children, let's hear the story of the great son of Rajputana, Maharana Pratap. Maharana Pratap was a legendary ruler of the region of Mewad who resisted powerful aggression from the Mughal armies. The Battle of Haldigati is considered as the monumental historic incident in Maharana's life. However, that is something that you'll surely get a chance to learn about as you grow up. Today, let me tell you about a lesser-known tale, the great story of the Battle of Divir. The Battle of Divir started on the day of Vijayadashmi in 1582. For this battle, Maharana divided his army into 2 groups, one led by he himself and the other by his son, Amar Singh. The 2 commanders proved highly effective on the battlefield, with the Rajput forces dominating the Mughal army with the guerrilla warfare strategies devised by the Maharana. 2 revered incidents in this battle are remembered fondly to this day. First, when Amar Singh attacked the Mughal commander Sultan Khan with a spear. The spear rammed both his body and the horse into the ground. It's fabled that the blow was so severe that none of the Mughal army soldiers was able to remove the spear from his body. On the other front, the Maharana took on the Mughal commander Behlol Khan. Many historical accounts depict these 2 as warriors of great stature, with extraordinary strength, weapons, and skills. It is fabled that Maharana channeled all his power into a single blow amidst the fight and slashed Behlol Khan along with his horse into two halves with a single blow. Seeing the Rajputana leaders unleashing such fierce, skillful tactics and witnessing their commanders fall, the remainder of the Mughal army, estimated to be around 36,000 soldiers, surrendered before the great Rajput and his armies. All 36 checkposts of the Mughals in Mewar were closed. This is considered to be the second biggest surrender in the entire Indian history, second only to the great surrender of the Army of Pakistani Eastern Command in the 1971 war between India and Pakistan. Maharana Pratap's strategies and dedication went on to serve as an inspiration for generations, including the greats like Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj himself, and they continue to do so even today.
Nani ji, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
Children, we will hear the story of King Harsha today. Once upon a time, there was a prosperous and just king named Harsha. His kingdom was filled with happiness and prosperity. Despite all his riches and powers, King Harsha was known for his humility. He treated everyone with kindness and respect, irrespective of their social status. One day, when the king was out for a walk near his palace, a poor beggar approached him for help.
Maharaj, my poor self cries for help. I haven't even had food these last 2 days. Have mercy, I beg you.
The beggar's clothes were dirty, and he carried a foul smell, none of which ever bothered King Harsha, who invited the beggar into his palace with open arms. He fed the beggar with his own hands and also gave him new clothes. Bidding farewell to the beggar, the king remarked,
Feel free to knock on my palace doors whenever you need any help. Remember, my palace doors are wide open, welcoming any of subjects in distress, always.
Moved by the king's genuine humility, the beggar appeared in his true form. He was Bhagwan Vishnu himself, present in the form of a lowly beggar. Manifesting in his true divine form in front of the generous king, Bhagwan Vishnu stated,
Harsha, your humility has touched my heart. You are truly deserving of every joy in this world. Bless you and your kingdom with eternal prosperity and happiness.
So kids, remember about this virtue of humility. Always treat others with kindness and respect.
Nani ji, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
Today, children, let's hear the story of the focus and unwavering aim of Arjun. Children, when we talk of legends, heroes and battles, the wind whispers the tales of the Mahabharata. It was around 5,000 years ago, 5 brothers called the Pandavas were known for their bravery and resilience. Among the 5 Pandav brothers, there was one named Arjun, who shone brighter than the rest for his archery skills. His bow was like a part of him. Every day he practiced with determination, aiming for perfection. All the Pandavas became really good warriors, with Guru Dronacharya's skillful teaching methods. One day, Dronakarya wanted to test his students, so he devised a cunning test. He placed a tiny wooden toy bird high atop a branch and said to 5 Pandavas,
Aim your arrows at the bird's eye, my sons. But before you unleash them, tell me, what do you see up there?
Yudhishthir, the eldest, meticulously listed everything he saw, including the bird, the branch, the tree, the sky, and even other birds. Bhim, The second brother, known for his strength and impulsiveness, simply expressed his hunger and impatience, not even focusing on the bird. Nakul and Sehdev, the twins, likely gave similar responses to Yudhishthir, listing various details around the bird rather than solely focusing on its eye. Then Dronacharya asked Arjun to tell what he saw in front of him. Arjun said that he only saw the bird's eye. Then Dronacharya asked him again to tell what he could see apart from the bird's eye. Arjun replied with a steady voice,
I can only see the eye of the bird, Guruji. It calls to my arrow.
This unwavering concentration of Arjun on the target highlighted his exceptional ability and discipline. Dronacharya smiled at him and said,
If you could see the bird's eye in front of you, then shoot. My student, and let your focus be your guide.
Arjun, following his guru Dronacharya's instructions, aimed his arrow at the target and hit the bird straight in the eye. And so, the story of Arjun's focus became a testament to the power of unwavering intent. It echoed through generations, reminding all that true victory lies not in the strength of your arms, but in the clarity of your vision. So kids, this story emphasizes the importance of concentration and single-mindedness for achieving success. Remember, in this world, just like Arjun, we must learn to block out distractions and stay focused on our ultimate aim. With clear eyes and unwavering intent, we can hit the target every time.
On a good summer evening, kids giggle on the woven mat, eyes wide with anticipation to hear stories.
Today, children, we will hear the story of the courage of Abhimanyu. Long ago, in ancient India, lived a brave warrior named Abhimanyu. He was the son of Subhadra and the mighty Arjun. Even before he was born, he was destined to be part of a big war called the Mahabharata. While he was in his mother's womb, his father, the mighty Arjun, practiced a complex battle formation called the Chakravyuh. Chakravyuh is designed to trap and conquer enemies, a complicated maze of soldiers that was almost impossible to escape. While Arjun trained, he told Subhadra about the Chakravyuh. It is said that little Abhimanyu, in his mother's belly, listened intently, and his warrior spirit absorbed the rhythm of battle. One day, Arjun revealed the way to escape from the deadly Chakravyuh to Subhadra. But before he could utter the final words, Subhadra drifted off to sleep. And so, when Abhimanyu was born, he knew how to enter the Chakravyuh, but not how to escape it. Years passed, and Abhimanyu grew into a skilled warrior just like his father. And when the war of the Mahabharata began, Kauravas used the Chakravyuh to trap Pandavas. Seeing his loved ones trapped, Abhimanyu, despite his incomplete knowledge, charged into the maze. Though trapped inside the Chakravyuh, he fought fearlessly. He refused to surrender. He fought until his last breath, helping his allies break through. Even though Abhimanyu's life was cut short, his story teaches us about courage. He showed that facing challenges with a brave heart is more powerful than physical strength. So kids, remember that true strength comes from a courageous heart. Like Abhimanyu, face challenges with your head held high. Even if the path seems unclear, never forget the power of love and loyalty. In those virtues, you'll find the real path to victory.
On a good summer evening, kids giggle on the woven mat, eyes wide with anticipation to hear stories.
Today, children, we will hear the story of Shravan Kumar and his parents. Once upon a time, there was a kind boy named Shravan Kumar who lived with his blind parents, Shantanu and Gyanvanti. He loved them dearly. As Shravan's parents grew older, He felt sad for them. Recalling tales of sacred places where people found peace and joy through rituals in holy rivers, he decided to embark on a pilgrimage. Despite not being rich, Shahravan had a big heart, full of love for his parents. He crafted 2 strong bamboo baskets and tied them to a pole, creating a makeshift carrier. Gently, he made his mother sit in one basket and his father in the other one. He hoisted the pole onto his shoulders and so carried them on his shoulders. And so their amazing journey began. Shravan walked for days, his shoulders strong and his spirit brave. Walking for days, Shravan sang happy songs to his parents, describing the beauty of nature. One day, in a forest, they became thirsty. Shravan, without hesitation, put his parents down and rushed to find water. As he reached a shiny stream and filled the water pot, an arrow struck him. Hurt and dying, his only concern was for his parents. Weak but clear, he pleaded with whoever shot him to take water to his blind parents. King Dashrath, who accidentally caused Shravan's death while hunting, heard the plea. With tears in his eyes, he took water to Shravan's parents, explaining the tragic incident. Heartbroken, Shravan's parents cursed King Dashrath, longing for their son. It is also mentioned in our ancient tales that it was due to this curse that Dashrath faced separation from his son Ram, resulting in his demise. Unable to bear the separation, Shravan's parents selflessly sacrificed their lives. The story of Shravan Kumar teaches us about the profound love a child can have for their parents. It reminds us that our actions, even unintentional ones, can have lasting consequences. So kids, let Shravan's journey inspire you to always care for your loved ones, just as he did for his parents.
One night, when Nani was lighting a bonfire for Lohri in their veranda, kids wondered and asked,
Nani ji, why do we celebrate Lohri?
My sweet little bunches, today I will tell you why do we celebrate Lohri. In the sun-soaked land of Punjab lived a rebel named Dullah Bhatti. He wasn't just any man, he always helped the poor and fought against the bad guys. Back then, greedy landlords called zamindars treated the villagers unfairly. They took all their food and money, leaving everyone hungry and sad. Dullah couldn't stand seeing this happen. So he gathered a band of brave friends and formed a secret group called the Robin Hoods of Punjab. One day, 2 sisters named Sundari and Mundari, the daughters of a poor farmer, were in danger. A mean zamindar wanted them to marry him, even though they didn't love him. Scared and desperate, Sundari and Mundari's father ran to Dullah for help. Dullah, being super clever, came up with a brilliant plan. He dressed up as a singer and snuck into the zamindar's grand wedding procession. With a wink and a whistle, he signaled his friends, and together they rescued Sundari and Mundari. They whisked the sisters away and helped them marry the kind and honest men they truly loved. News of Dullah's daring trick spread like wildfire, warming the hearts of everyone except the greedy zamindar. And so, whenever people light bonfires and sing songs on Lohri, they remember Dullah, a symbol of hope, fighting for fairness and celebrating new beginnings just like the crackling flames of Lohri. So kids, the next time you hear the dhol drums beat at Lohri, remember Dullah Bhatti and spread kindness wherever you go.
Nani ji, it's story time. What will you tell us today?
Today, children, let's hear the beautiful Bal Katha of the playful spirit of Ganesh, Bal Ganesh Parikrama. Once upon a time, in the great mountain of Kailash, a brotherly challenge took place between Ganesh and Kartikeya. It was decided thus that whosoever would be able to circumambulate the world thrice first would be adjudged the winner. Kartikeya quickly called upon his mystical ride, Mayur the peacock, and took off to complete his 3 revolutions around the world, whilst Ganesh respectfully stood in his place. Then Ganesh started walking around in circles around Shivji and Ma Parvati. Ganesh completed 3 revolutions around his parents and calmly stood back in his place. He was shortly after joined by Kartikeya, who had just completed his 3 revolutions around the world.
Ha! You haven't even moved yet, and I have already completed the 3 revolutions. Clearly I got the better of you in this challenge, brother.
Ganesh simply folded his hands in a respectful namaste towards their parents and calmly spoke.
I have already completed the challenge. You see, for me, my whole world is covered in the patronage and shelter of my parents.
All the gods and the Devi Mahadev themselves were elated to hear of this graceful wit that Ganesh had demonstrated. Lord Shiv lovingly hugged his 2 sons and blessed them. So, kids, Mahadev adorned Ganesh with the title of Pratham Puja, the one who'll always be worshipped foremost. Bye-bye, kids. To hear more beautiful tales of culture, subscribe to our channel. Namaste, Nani.